Good morning, greenies. Sorry for the late start. Was catching up on some stuff here. Anyway, wacko market starting down a little bit here, but inside days everywhere. We don't know, that starting out bearish is going to end bearish. I see the Dow's now down 225. So it's a start. Anyway, I had gold up here. I was going through them, taking a look. Anyway, that is an inside day, but consolidating at the top of a wide range bar after a consolidation, which suggests it's going to keep going higher. So we shall see. Let's go to the markets here. I want to start with the ETFs. So we've got all of these markets last week that basically ran in place to a sense, except for Friday. They started lower, and then they moved up. And as far as the broader markets go, it's spiders, Qs, the Russell, the transports, none of them took out the prior week's high. They got close, but they didn't take it out. So looking at the detail of the daily chart, we had the potential for an M top. Right? This is what I wrote in the weekend letter. However, the strong close, and again on Friday, buyers held up into the close, standing their ground after they got it back up. When the spiders here closed back up to the high of the day. However, the fly in the ointment for the bulls was the fact that the wrong way option traders loaded up on calls at the end of the week, looking for prices to go higher. Now, our moving average still isn't into that band. I mean, as I look at it, maybe it's just touching. I don't know. I'm not one to say it has to be, pinpoint accurate. Maybe it's close enough for sloppy government work. You'd like to see a more definitive move. But anyway, it's darn close. Breadth has been diverging, moving lower while the market moved up. So, the blast off that started here, other stocks lost momentum as things went up. And of course, there was losing momentum here where the ranges contracted a bit and the candle bodies contracted. So right now we've got a bearish bar. Let's get rid of this. We've got a bearish bar and a little blast to the downside here, right near going into the open. So some definitive bearish move. At the moment, we'll look at the futures and 263.50. 263.50. Looks like it will open up under Friday's close, Friday's low. I think we have to lean on the bear pedal here with a gap like that. Maybe we give it a few minutes because of this congestion here. It could be a miracle turnaround. You just don't know in the schizo market to turn that bar green, but initially we have to go with the bear case here. All right, so let's see what happens. So, Dan, that bear call spread must be breathing a sign of relief here from last week.
Yeah, exactly. We're in the spiders and Qs. And as I just posted here, we gave a new bear call credit spread on spiders. And it was based on one of those patterns of if it triggers. Mm-hmm. The same with our urban URBN. If you look at that daily, excuse me, we gave bear call credit spread if it takes out the green bar, because then it should be in free falling too.
Right. Yep. So our letter plays, which there was a bunch of longs because of whatever the trends, they're not going to trigger. But if they do trigger, they'll certainly be showing some great relative strength with this bearish move down. But we'll see what happens with that. But another bearish gap down, pretty big one here on the Qs at 163.10-ish. I mean, if it closes like this, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say mortgage the house and go short. but we don't do crazy stuff. Anyway, this is pretty bearish open. I haven't looked at news to see what got it going like this. I know it was down a little bit last night. I think the futures, when I looked, was only down like 40. So there must have been some kind of news. Caterpillar and NVIDIA. Okay. 146. Bearish, bearish, bearish everywhere. Transports. Kind of a yawn there, but they don't usually move much pre-market. And Dow going down 244, so 245-ish. Breakout failure, the 200. All right, so going into this at the end of last week was like, okay, it's gap up, it's holding the gap, so on and so forth. Maybe it could run up into the void, or does it gap down? Right, that's what I wrote in the letter. So here we have the bearish scenario, and it's into some support. So look, the buyers are going to step up here on this gap down into this area. Let's see what they can do over the first few minutes or so, and we'll assess the gaps and what we do. Futures, it's an inside day. Like, what's up with that? It's like, okay, we got to now get this bearish close at the end of the day like this, or ideally below this low here, not turn back into a bottoming tail bar. So we're not totally out of the woods. The gap down in the ETFs, that looks very bearish. Still moving lower here. Got whatever this support area down here. So it's a little ways off, but for the bear case, we want to see this closing below that low. Same with the Qs. So far, just another inside day. And YM is below yesterday's low. And it peekabooed above the high. I like that. Bonds, nothing. Oil back down. Gold we already looked at. And I guess NVIDIA reported ugliness. Uh-oh. AMD down almost 2. Okay, I'll have to deal with that. MU. Wacko. Well, look, one of the things I pointed out in the letter was the strength in SMH. This was up close to 6% last week, but was up, coming up into the top of the range. So I was thinking, if the market went up, this would go up, it hit the top of the range, so on and so forth. And now that's not going to happen. So we will deal with whatever. Kind of crazy stuff going on, but that market has been that way. And whatever, just looking through whatever's here. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, Amazon down 25, 1645. This is some nasty stuff going on. Let's see where it ends up. Caterpillar, 127. Okay. Facebook, Square, which was leading. Okay. And I'll let you take over. I'm going to go through some of this stuff anyway, myself.
All right, thanks. Good morning, everyone. Hey, trader, I was thinking of you today when I saw, well, 2 things. I'm in Dallas, Texas, visiting family, much colder here than sunny Fort Lauderdale. And then, we're all watching the news, of course, on the weather. And, remember Chicago's going to get -40 wind chills tomorrow, et cetera, Minneapolis, this and that. And then I look at UNG. Remember what I told you last week? You said, hey, record weather, let's buy it. And I'm like, nope. If you know it, everyone knows it. We just trade the patterns. I would trade it long if I had a pattern. You got on the UNG, you got resistance above, you got support below. And now it's getting whacked, you know, gapping down to the downside. But again, I'm not saying that I told you, not at all. I'm mentioning that just to support the proposition of why charts work, of why they are you know, we had the MT live a week and a half ago, of they are the summation on all. I know I'm not just talking to you. I'm obviously talking to everybody. I don't, you know, lecture people. This is educational, except for LaDon. I lecture LaDon every now and then, but that's because he, number one, asked for it. Number two, deserves it. Number three, excuse me, is going to send Greg and me all kinds of gifts once he accomplishes his trading mastery goals. All right, enough of that. So AMD, you know, I saw in Greg's draft letter that they sold half into the close, and I was on an airplane traveling, and that was the right thing to do. Sell half in the strength and you hold half for a swing. But the pattern closed beautifully, and now it's getting whacked with NVIDIA. So we'll manage the back half. We mentioned we have spiders, Q spread, bear call spreads, and we're going to add to the spiders today. J&J, we're short a half lot of stock. I'm sorry, we have a bear call credit spread, and we covered half at the dead low for 2/3 of max profit, and we're holding the back half. MDB, we have an iron condor, and the gap down actually is going to help us, because when we entered on Wednesday, it went up a little bit, and you know, we actually were it went a nickel against us. Big deal. There was no adjustments necessary, but the gap down will help us today on the condor. Disney, we're short stock. Verizon, we're short stock, and it looks great. This, folks, this, if you're not in it, this could be a great day trade short. And I know it has earnings coming up, so we're going to kind of have to, you know, try to cover into weakness. Oh, Joan, all I was saying was, you know, there's a record. Well, I don't know if it's record, but extremely cold weather. I typed in Joan. Nice. Joan, you know that your name is not a public symbol, by the way. All I was saying, Joan, was everyone knew last week that there was cold weather, and that's not a reason to buy natural gas, because it's stocks and commodities are pricing mechanism. That's all. So NVIDIA actually looked like a put spread candidate. But remember how many times you've heard me say, but it's lagging, it's lagging, it's lagging. The sector and other stocks of interest, even when whatever stocks announced last week, Alex, and we're ripping to new highs, this thing was lagging. So anyway, let's see, 136. It's, you know, it's a call spread candidate now. It's gapping under this entire, you know, 10, 15 bars. That's ugly. I posted a pre-market in our weekly options trader. This is a put spread candidate. It's gapping. This is a tier 1 gapping play. Well, now it's 82. It was gapping to 83 when I posted it this morning. So just look at my horizontal line. It's gapping right here. And here, I know you all like, or at least some of the people like to see bigger charts here pre-market. But this is a reverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, converging 20 and 50, rising, price void above. Now it's gapping. Now it's gapping above that. So I put it in a window right here in the middle. That is a beautiful, beautiful gapping setup. Just like the other day, it was AAL, right? Yep, right on this day, Thursday. Beautiful, beautiful setup, but it never, or no, it's this day. Well, yeah, it was Thursday, which is this day. Yeah, it gapped up and then never gave us our setup. Let's see if Grub gives us our setup today. Bottoming pattern here. This looks like a natural gas company, DLNG, gap into 270. It is getting whacked. You know, that's the danger of bottoming patterns. I just saw DBX going by the ticker here, and anything not gapping down in a big old gap down market. Look, SPOs are down almost 26 points now. Anything that's flat or up is strong. Look at that, you know, drop box. That's a put spread candidate. Oh, I missed this one. TCF, 23 bucks, big old gap, but that one you need a pullback. It's gap into resistance. That's our J&J. Oh, Costco. I forgot to write that one down. We have that in the weekly. We have a bear call credit spread, and that looks fine. These are open, some that we're watching. So Urban, this was the one I was mentioning to Greg. If we can trade under this red bar, then this green bar is ignored, and it's a continuation breakdown trade, both for directional and income. NBEV, the pot stocks were holding well. You know, we like this 2-bar consolidation from this 180 reversal. Michael Jackson can be both a directional and a put spread over the high. There's Verizon. These are our opens. You know, whenever you're talking about trade war stuff, I always like looking at Boeing. You know, Boeing, Triple M, some of these big Dow 30 stocks are proxies. No pattern. Incredible 100% retracement here, daily and weekly. A gap in a 360. If this can get under Thursday's low, let's watch it. If it can get weaker, then this is a bear call credit spread setup. Valley getting whacked. Well, it got whacked on Friday, but it's getting whacked some more. Wow, look, so look at my weekly here, 1250 support, and it's gapping under that. I have CAT here in the bottom right window. Look at CAT, 127, bear call credit spread candidate. And if it stabilizes and kind of takes out a 30-minute high, then trader Paul, we might have a condor candidate on our hands. And with the gap down, volatility is going to rise, both in the stock and the spider gap down. Deer, I always like looking at the major cousins. So Deer's down 550 to 156. That's a bear. There's another bear call spread candidate for us. I'm going to put Deer in this little window. So 30-minute low, I like that. NTNX, we have, this is strong. We have this as a long watch. There's our Dollar Tree. Look, our Dollar Tree. This is a bullish, this is a bull flag channel. It's not as clean of just the bars, but it's a bull flag channel. You see that? Bullish close, you know, the real body closed to a new weekly high. Pre-market here, gap down, strong. This is strong, the old Dollar Tree. This one we have on our watch list, but we want it to retrace more. You know, bullish breakout, all time frames, daily, weekly, monthly, so keep that. HRL. We have this on our bearish watch list. T2, remember I said the monthly? The monthly has room to fall. It's on support, so it might take a while, but I like the fact that it's chopping around here, relative weakness to the market. LVS, I've kept here for a while. If it can get through this, if this can get through this level, or even 58, it doesn't even, look at the highs of this one, just look at Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. If it can take out the high of these 4 bars, I don't even care about this one. Why? Gap down negated, bullish weekly. If it does that, relative strength to the market. ALB, I actually had this on my bearish watch list because of the 1, 2, 3 on the monthly. It's on support, 20 MA flattened out. You know, the VIX obviously is going to go up with the gap down. And I think we're done. Oh, Trader Paul had a post on YouTube about Tilray being a put spread candidate. And so Trader, I say as of right now, absolutely not. And the reason for that is bearish 100% retracement, upside shakeout here on the weekly. Yet is it horizontal support? Without a doubt. That's a fact, Jack. What movie was that from? Stripes. Hey, that's another, we just came up for another word for objective. It is what it is. Just, I'm going to say Stripes movie. That's a fact, Jack. It's on support. But remember, look, hey, LaDon, is major support a pattern to buy? Come on, say it. Nope. So there's no pattern. I wouldn't touch this thing bullish. It's relative, but no, it's not.